Hi guys, I'm Jelly, Jelly Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel, and today is the last day you will see this bare background behind me because I am actually moving this coming weekend. I will have already moved when you are seeing this video, but let's dive straight into this video where I'm going to talk about my top 5 most read authors over the years. I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that this has changed over the years. The most read author I have right now, I've read like 15 books of this author, and I remember some other authors being on this list, but since then it actually has changed. So that was a pleasant surprise for me.
Let's dive straight into this list. The first author I want to talk about is Sarah J. Maas. She is number 1. I've read 15 books by her, and that is kind of incredible to me, but also not really, because I read her entire Throne of Glass series. I have read all of her A Court of Thorns and Roses books up until then, and I think that is basically it all I've read. But I also have read all the novellas in the Throne of Glass series, I think, so that explains the huge number of books. I don't even particularly enjoy Sarah J. Maas's works. I only really enjoy The Court of Mist and Fury.
It's still my favorite work of hers, and besides that I just wanted to finish the Throne of Glass series, and at this point I kind of enjoy the characters of A Court of Thorns and Roses, but that's kind of it. So you'd expect that my most read authors will be my favorite authors of all time, but my number 1 author actually isn't. I just really enjoyed one book of hers and I just keep reading it because the hype surrounding her books is so big at all times. I was just really disappointed by the Throne of Glass series. I didn't enjoy the romances or anything in that at a certain point. Although I did start out liking the series, it just went in a direction that I didn't appreciate. But I will probably keep reading her books, and especially her A Court of Thorns and Roses series, since her Throne of Glass series is finished, and maybe future series she will bring out. The second author on this list is actually an author I do really enjoy, and that's Colleen Hoover with I think 11 books. I'm not entirely sure on the number here, but I absolutely adore Colleen Hoover. I've read a lot of her works and I'm planning on eventually reading all of them. I am making my way through them, and I really love some of her books and I also hate some of her books. It's either one or the other. It's never really in the middle, and I think it is very interesting. So when I go into a book, I never know whether I'm going to love it or hate it, and that's a very refreshing feeling. Even if I do end up hating it, I know that she will have other books that I will love again. My third author on this list is Patrick Ness, and Patrick Ness is also an author I really enjoy. I think at this point it's safe to say that he is one of my favorite authors of all time. I think I read 9 books by him, and man, do I love his stories. I love the way he writes, I love the way he incorporates all of these diverse elements into his stories and makes his stories own voices, because he is a gay author and there's almost always a gay romance in his books. Tolerate some of his books, but other ones I absolutely love. I don't think I've encountered a book that I really hated from him, but that is definitely a good thing, and I'm planning on probably reading all of his books ever because I just really like his writing style. The fourth author on this list is a bit of a weird one and actually a bit of a fluke, and that is Natsumi Ando. I think she's a Japanese author, and she's just on this list because I read her Kitchen Princess manga series. That manga series turned out to have quite a lot of volumes, and I've never read anything else by her, although I did really enjoy the Kitchen Princess series, and I would sincerely recommend it if you love cutesy mangas, which is what I asked for at the time. I asked for recommendations for cutesy mangas. This is a recommendation I got and I absolutely loved it. So that turned out in my favor, and I don't think I've ever read a manga after that anymore. I don't know why. I prefer actual novels to mangas, and I actually really like watching anime, and I also prefer that to the manga, which most of the time is black and white, and anime is actually colored in, and most of the time the manga actually has an anime, so my preference goes to the anime, so I don't read a whole lot of mangas. And the last author on this list also doesn't surprise anyone. That is G. Willow Wilson. I think I was wrong on saying that Colleen Hoover had 9 books on this list. I think I've read 10 books by Colleen Hoover, 10 books by Natsumi Ando, and 10 books by G. Willow Wilson, and that is her entire Ms. Marvel series. It has 10 volumes, it has now ended, and I absolutely love the Ms. Marvel series, but for me this universe of Ms. Marvel has ended as well. I don't feel like continuing on with reading another series about Ms. Marvel from a different artist's perspective, because I really like the way G. Willow Wilson did it, and I just want to stay in her world and her interpretation of Ms. Marvel. These are my most read authors. Let me know down below, what are some of your most read authors? Do you actually love them? Are they some of your favorites? I would love to know. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!